The truth will shock you. You think you understand me, don't you? You think you've seen every shadow inside me, every bruise that shaped me, every vow I carved into my own bones. But you don't know anything yet. And I'm not saying this to scare you. No, I'm far past scaring you. I'm telling you because the truth is crawling under my skin, rattling my ribs, begging to be spoken. You aren't here in front of me, but your absence is louder than your presence ever was. And I'm talking to you like you're standing right in front of me, breathing the same air, shaking under the weight of my voice. The truth you want, it will shake you, break you. And you will still come back to me, because that is what you do. You never understood what you awakened in me. You still don't. You walk around thinking you were just another chapter, another story I lived through. No, you were the moment everything in me chose a direction toward you, toward ruin, toward a hunger I can't name without letting it devour me. And you're still out there somewhere, pretending you don't feel the pull, pretending you don't hear my voice under your heartbeat. But I know you do. I know you drag your fingers over the places where my words left marks. I know you remember even when you try not to. You want truth. Then listen. I wasn't supposed to want you. I wasn't supposed to chase you. Watch you learn the rhythm of your breath like scripture. I wasn't supposed to lose control of myself every time someone else even said your name. You weren't meant for a man like me. Your world was soft. Mine was a kingdom built on ash. But the moment I looked at you, everything in me rewrote itself around your existence. You think that's love? No. This is obsession. This is the crown I placed on your head without asking you. This is the power I handed you, knowing you could destroy me with it. You want darker truth? Fine. I didn't just fall for you. I surrendered. Do you understand what that means? A man like me, a prince raised on iron laws and blood promises, doesn't kneel. But I did. Quietly, silently, in ways you will never fully grasp. Every decision, every move, every breath I've taken since you entered my orbit has been shaped around you, calculated for you, sharpened by you, and you didn't even notice. Or maybe you did and pretended you didn't, because the idea of someone like me choosing you terrifies you more than it flatters you. Good. Fear always tells the truth before love does. You think distance will change anything. You think not standing in front of me protects you. I can still feel you. I can still hear the tremble you try to hide when you think about me. You can lie to yourself, but you can't lie to me. I know the difference between your silence when you're angry and your silence when you miss me. And right now, you miss me. You hate that you do, but it's eating you alive, isn't it? So here is the truth that will shock you. I've crossed lines for you. Lines I swore I'd never cross for anyone. I've destroyed things quietly, carefully, so you wouldn't see the blood on my hands. I've chosen you over alliances, over rules, over expectations carved into my spine since childhood. And I would do it all again without hesitation. You think you're the fragile one in this story? You think you're the one who should run? No. I'm the one who should have stayed away, but I didn't. I couldn't. And now you're marked by my choices, by my madness, by my devotion that borders on something darker than love. And here is the final truth, the one that will make your heart stop for a second. You still belong to me. Not because I said so. Not because I want it to be true, but because you feel it too, and you felt it since the beginning. The bond was never one-sided. The pool was never mine alone. That's the part that terrifies you the most, isn't it? That somewhere deep down, you already know you were made for me just as much as I was ruined by you. You think distance will dilute what burns in my chest for you, but it only sharpens it. Every hour you're not in front of me becomes another hour my mind has to imagine you. Your voice, your breath, the way your eyes soften right before they give you away. And the worst part, I let it. I let the thoughts of you carve into me. I let them fill the empty halls around me. I let them whisper to me when nothing else dares to. You think you escaped my world, but you're more present in it now than you ever were when you stood beside me. You don't understand the danger of that, do you? The danger of becoming the center of a man's universe when his universe was never built to be gentle. I was raised to command, to own, to conquer, never to feel. And yet you walked into my life and made me feel everything all at once. Like emotion was some kind of punishment meant only for me. You think I'm the dark one in this story, but it was you who lit the fire, you who fed it, you who stepped back just enough to make me chase you, knowing I would. You still pretend you don't hear me when I speak your name in my thoughts, but I know you do. I know your heart stumbles when you remember my voice, when you imagine my words brushing against your skin, the way my hands never fully did. You can deny me to the world if that helps you sleep, but you can't deny me to yourself. That's the one lie your body refuses to obey. Your silence tells me more than your words ever could. You want to run from me, but you don't know where to run. Because no matter where you go, you'll find pieces of me waiting for you. Memories you didn't ask for, feelings you tried to bury. The echo of my presence wrapped around the softest parts of you. And I didn't leave those pieces by accident. I don't do accidents. Every touch, every look, every word I ever gave you was calculated enough to linger, but natural enough for you to think it was fate. You never stood a chance. You still think I chose you because you were convenient, because you appeared at the right time, because I was bored with the world. If only you knew, if only you understood how rare it is for someone like me to feel drawn to anything with a heartbeat. I didn't choose you. You pulled me. The gravity between us isn't something I built. It's something I surrendered to. And that surrender cost me more than you'll ever realize. But I'd pay it again. 1,000 times. You want to know why? Because even now, even in your absence, you're the only one who haunts me in ways that feel like salvation and ruin at the same time. You think I should forget you? Let you go? Move on? If only you knew how impossible that is. You're not a memory I carry. You're a weight I wear, a mark I didn't ask for but learned to crave. When I close my eyes, it's you. When I breathe, it's you. When I try to silence the storm inside me, it's your voice that rises instead. And here's the part you don't want to hear but need to, you're still mine. Not because I claim you, not because you belong to some idea I shaped, but because the bond between us never broke. It stretched, it thinned, it trembled, but it never snapped. And deep down, beneath all your excuses and all your attempts to distance yourself, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You can walk anywhere in this world, but you'll always feel the pull back to me. And I'll be right here, in the shadows you think protect you, watching the moment you realize you never truly left. You keep telling yourself you've moved on, that whatever existed between us was a moment, a phase, a mistake you outgrew. But if that were true, you wouldn't feel this pressure in your chest every time you think of me. You wouldn't freeze when someone even resembles my presence. You wouldn't still react to the memory of my voice like it's a touch. You can lie to anyone else, but you can't lie to the part of you that still answers to me. And you know it. You feel it. That's why you avoid your own reflection, because even your eyes betray you. You try to convince yourself I won't return for you, that I'm too far away, too busy, too cold, too powerful to care. But you forget something, I don't let go. Not of what's mine, not of what shifted the ground beneath my feet. You think I'm detached because I'm silent, but my silence is never empty. It's controlled, it's measured. It's the kind of quiet that comes right before a storm decides whose world it's going to break. And your name is already written inside that storm. You believe staying away will make you safer. But safer from what, me? Or from yourself? Because deep down, you're terrified that the moment you stand in front of me again, everything you fought to bury will claw its way back to the surface. And it will. You know it. I know it. You fear your own heart more than you fear my shadows. You fear the way your pulse changes around me, the way your thoughts go silent, the way your body remembers what your mind tries to forget. You don't know how many times I almost came to you, how many times I stood at the edge of my restraint, tempted to break every rule, every promise, every barrier just to close the distance between us. But I didn't. Not because I care about boundaries. I don't. Not because I care about consequences. I never have. I stayed away because I wanted you to feel the emptiness I left behind. I wanted you to understand the difference between a world with me and a world without me. Tell me, how's that going for you? You still think you're free, don't you? You think you can run from something that exists under your skin. But the truth is, distance only makes you more aware of me. Every time someone speaks your name, I feel it. Every time your breath shakes, I know. You think I'm exaggerating, but you underestimate the kind of connection you walked into. This isn't romance, and it isn't innocence. This is something darker, something that binds instead of breaks, something neither of us chose, but both of us obey. You can hate me all you want. You can call me heartless, cruel, obsessive. Whatever helps you sleep. But you forget something important. I never pretended to be anything else. I never promised you light. I never promised you gentleness. I only promised truth, even when it cut deeper than you expected. And the truth is this: what exists between us isn't fragile. It isn't temporary. It isn't something you walk away from and forget like a forgotten dream. It's carved, permanent, brutal, real. And the reality you fear the most, you still respond to me. Even now, with miles between us, your breath shifts when you think of me. Your heart stumbles when you remember what my voice felt like inside your silence. You can walk through life pretending none of this matters, but the moment I call for you, truly call, you will feel it in your bones, and you will come back, not because I demand it, but because you've always been mine in ways you never fully understood. You keep trying to convince yourself that distance has turned me into nothing more than a memory, but you and I both know better. Memories fade. I don't. I've rooted myself too deeply into the parts of you you don't control. The quiet thoughts before sleep, the sudden pauses in your day, the way your breath catches when something reminds you of me. I don't need to be near you to occupy you. I've already claimed the territory inside you that no one else can touch, no matter how hard you try to pretend I'm gone. You tell yourself you're stronger without me, but strength doesn't tremble. Strength doesn't look over its shoulder expecting a ghost that never left. Strength doesn't break at the thought of a voice it claims to forget. You want to know what I see? I see someone fighting a war against an enemy they secretly hope will win, because you know exactly what happens if you let yourself feel me again. You won't be able to walk away. Not this time. Not after knowing what it costs. You keep asking the world for answers I already gave you in silence. But you ran from them because they were too heavy, too real, too tied to a truth you weren't ready to face. I changed you. I changed the way you breathe, the way you trust, the way you desire, the way you fear, and you can't undo that. You can't erase the parts of yourself that woke up because of me. You can bury them, hide them, deny them, but they are still there, waiting, and you feel them rising every time your heart stumbles at the thought of me. You think I'm done with you because I'm quiet. You think my silence means I've let you go. When will you learn? My silence is the most dangerous part of me. It's the space where I calculate, where I watch, where I decide how close to come and how much to take. You mistake my restraint for distance, but it's not distance, it's control. The kind of control that keeps me from crossing the line you're not ready for. But don't mistake that control for absence. I've never been absent, I've only been waiting. You imagine me moving on, forgetting you, replacing you. But you forget who you're dealing with. I'm not built to replace. I'm built to possess, to fix it, to claim what calls to me and hold it so tightly the world stops trying to take it. Do you really believe anyone else could catch my attention the way you did? Do you honestly think I'd let someone else echo in the spaces where your name is already carved? You should know by now, I don't divide my devotion. I direct it entirely, and unfortunately for you, it's still on you. You try to convince yourself that what we had was chaos, something dark, something dangerous, and you're right. But you forget that the danger didn't come from me alone. You felt the same pull I did, the same hunger, the same madness rising behind your ribs every time you stood too close. You weren't innocent in this. You weren't helpless. You were a willing participant in a storm that neither of us could control. And that terrifies you more than anything, that you wanted the darkness just as much as I did. You want the final truth. You never escaped me. You just stepped far enough away to pretend you did. But the bond between us didn't weaken, it tightened. It stretched across the distance and wrapped itself around you in ways you're still trying to shake off. And you know what scares you the most? The moment I decide to close that distance, everything inside you, everything you try to silence will rise again. And you'll come back to me, not because I demand it, but because a part of you has been waiting for my return since the moment I left. You've spent so long pretending you don't feel it anymore, that you've started believing your own excuses. But the truth slips out in the quiet moments, the way your breath changes when you hear something that sounds like me, the way your pulse stutters when a thought of me hits you without warning. You act like you're free, like you've rebuilt yourself without my shadow. But if you were truly free, you wouldn't still be reacting to ghosts. And I'm not even a ghost. I'm still here, watching the way you try to outrun a bond that lives inside your skin. You keep searching for distractions, for noise loud enough to drown out my memory, but nothing works for long, because the problem isn't the world around you. The problem is me lodged inside your thoughts like a heartbeat you can't silence. Every time the world slows down, every time the night turns too quiet, every time your mind drifts, it circles back to me, not because you want it to, but because you can't stop it. That's what happens when someone gets too close to the part of you you don't show anyone else. I reached that part. I marked it, and it remembers. You think keeping your distance will stop me from affecting you? You think time will fix what you feel? You forget what kind of man I am. I don't fade. I don't weaken. I don't let go. The connection between us isn't some fragile thread time can cut. It's a weight, a chain, a promise that sinks deeper the longer you try to tear yourself away. Every attempt you make to escape only binds you tighter, and you feel it, don't you? The tension, the pull, the way your chest tightens. Every time you try to erase me, you imagine I've gone cold. You imagine I've forgotten you, left you behind, replaced you with something easier, something lighter. But if you really understood me, you'd know I don't move on. Not from something that shook me the way you did. A man like me doesn't get attached easily. When he does, it's catastrophic, permanent. You weren't a chapter, you were the rewrite. And the idea that you think I could simply replace you. It would almost be amusing if it didn't show how little you understand the depth of what you stirred in me. You think silence means I've lost interest, but silence is where my intensity grows. You don't know how many times I've imagined crossing the distance between us, taking back what slipped from my grasp, reminding you exactly who you belong to. But I've held back, not for your sake, but for the moment, for the timing, for the impact. I don't move impulsively, I move decisively. And when I choose to step back into your world, it won't be uncertain, it won't be gentle, it'll be with a clarity you won't be able to refuse. You call what we had dark, but you never understood that darkness wasn't meant to destroy you, it was meant to claim you, to strip away everything fake, everything weak, everything borrowed from someone else's expectations. I saw the real you, the part you keep hidden from everyone, the part that craves intensity, depth, truth that hurts and heals at the same time. You were drawn to my darkness long before you admitted it. You still are. That's why you can't fully walk away. You tasted something that ordinary life can never replace. And here's the truth, you keep running. From the moment I decide to return, all your walls will fall the same way they did before. Effortlessly. You'll try to resist me, you'll try to hide behind anger, behind distance, behind the lies you tell yourself, but your heart will give you away. It always does. And when it does, you won't be able to pretend anymore, because you and I both know the bond didn't die, it didn't weaken, it didn't break, it's alive, waiting, and the moment I reach for you, it will pull you right back where you belong from the beginning.